Hey guys, welcome back. So today we are doing a workout that is basically encouraging our core and our abdominals without having to do too much flexion. I know I've been hearing a lot about shoulders and neck, so doing some of those traditional curl ups might actually cause a little bit more aggravation. So I thought I'd play with a Pilates mat series here that allows you to work your core without having to do a lot of stuff. And we're sitting at computers so much these days too, so it's nice to challenge yourself in a different way. Yes? Okay, so let's begin first on our hands and knees. Just to open up a little bit. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Go ahead and extend out, open up through the chest. So feel the collarbone lift up to the ceiling, sticking out the tailbone. And then as you press into your palm, start to curl the tail under, round up through the spine. Find that stretch, bringing the head down. And then do the reverse. Start with the head, open up through the chest, and extend through the back. And then draw the tail under, lift up through the waist, pressing into the mat. Let's do one more. Extend and open up through the chest. And then draw the tail under, lift up through the waist, and release. So now find a nice long line from head through the tailbone, and extend your right arm forward and your left leg back. We want to keep our hips squared to the mat as well as our shoulders. Then float up your arm and your leg, feeling those abdominals engaged without collapsing, and then tap the hand and the foot down. So let's do about 8 of those. Seeing if you can maintain that stability through your upper body. Gaze is forward to the top of your mat. 4 more. 2 and 1. Lower the hand and the knee down. Other side. All right, so check back in with your abdominals. You want the ribs closed here. Extend the arm and leg long. Take a moment, square off the shoulders and hips, and then float up for 8. So everything else stays in alignment, the arm and leg lifting together. 4 more. 2 and 1. Lower the hand, the knee. Separate your knees a bit and sit back into a rest pose. Stretching through your arms, hips back, nice deep breaths. Good. And then lift yourself right back up. Hands directly under the shoulders, knees back under the hips. All right, so again, keep that nice long alignment. Extend your right leg back behind you. So now just focusing on the lower half for a moment. Lift the leg up. Pause here. See if you can turn to square off your hips to the mat. Abdominals still lifted. Point those toes and then lower the leg down and lift. So you're keeping the rest of your body nice and stable as you extend through this hip. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up there. Long leg. And release it down. Okay, other side. Extend the leg back, abdominals engaged, and then float up. 8 kicks. Pressing firmly through both arms here. And 3, 2, and then hold it up there for a few counts as you finish that last one. Long neck, long leg. And lower them down. All right, take your hands a little bit more ahead of you in front of the shoulders, curl the feet under, and lift yourself up into downward dog. Go ahead and pedal out the legs here, pressing through one heel. Allow your hips to move side to side if that feels good to you. Make it a stretch. Good. So I'm lifting my hips up high, and then feel the shoulder blades nice and broad across the back here as well. Even press into the first finger and your thumb a bit more, engaging that space. Take another full breath. And then transition from here into a plank position. We're not going to be here long. So see if you can keep a nice long neck, abdominals engaged, and then lift back up to that piked downward dog position. So a smooth glide forward, abdominals engaged, shift forward into that plank. And lift yourself up. So if you feel like you need to modify today, it looks more like this. We're here, and then you just send your hips back. Right? But transitioning through the shoulders, and take it back, right? If you're doing the full range, go back to downward dog and plank. You have 4 more. Good, so the spine stays nice and long here. So the challenge is not to let the ribs kind of pop out as you take yourself forward and back. All right, this is my last one here. And take it back and lower to the knees all the way down. Good, come off those wrists, shake them out a little bit. Yes, okay. Then from there, we're gonna make our way onto our backs. Okay, so I'm gonna work on keeping my head down today and engaging the abdominals by moving my limbs to challenge, okay? But you wanna make sure that the back of your shoulders stay connected to the mat in this position. If you need to slide your hands underneath your hips, that's also an option. But otherwise, arms are long by your side. So we're gonna go to what's called tabletop position, which is where my ankle and my knee are in line with each other. Draw the abdominals in and extend one leg out and bring it back in. Good, and then the other leg reaches, keeping your hips stable on the mat. And bring it in. And again, reach out long. So the key here, again, is to feel the abdominals pull in and up, and the back of your ribs stay connected to the mat. We do have that natural arch underneath our lower back, so you don't want to ever force that down, right? But instead, think about engaging through the front, the abdominals in. All right, let's go a little bit quicker. For 8, 7. Now, the lower you reach your legs, the more challenging it is. So reach to an angle that works for you. All right, 4 more here. 3, 2, 1, and bring the legs back in. Give them a little squeeze. Great. Then from there, extend your legs up towards the ceiling. And again, back of the ribs glued to the mat, shoulders back. Take your right leg. I'm going to reach to the heel and lower the leg down as the other leg stands on the ceiling and bring it back up. Now, if this is too much for your lower back, you can bend your knees as you do this. Or again, hands just slightly underneath the hips, like I suggested earlier. So you're alternating legs here nice and slow so you can maintain that stability through your hips and your shoulders. Let's go for 4 more. Reach out. Lengthen 3. Pull in up through the front. Yes. Last 2. Good. And last 1. Great. Bend those knees back in for a moment. So now for a double lower leg lift here. I'm going to take my legs actually into a diamond shape. So just heels together, allow the knees to open up to the side. If you need to take your hands onto your abdominals just to make sure you're engaging them, feel free to do so. But take this diamond shape, right? The diamond between the legs, and lower the legs down about halfway. Draw the lower abdominals in and lift back up. Now I'm really pressing into the mat with my triceps, with my arms and my shoulders to keep myself from arching there. Use your breath, exhale and lift. Please work the range that works for you. It doesn't have to be this big motion. It's more important that you're pulling up from those abdominals with control. All right, let's go for 3 more. And 2. Control it up. Last 1. And bring those knees in. Good. After that, let's extend one leg out, one knee into the chest. Let's give it a little squeeze, and let's take a twist. Allow your leg to fall. Now, as you take the rotation, be sure to keep both shoulders on the mat, and then the leg falls over. Use the breath. Got a few cracks there. And back to, all right, other side. So draw the other knee into the chest, give it a squeeze. Both shoulders stay on the mat. Take a nice rotation here. And back through center. All right, turn onto one side. And we're setting up with our elbow directly under our shoulder, wrist in line with the elbow. So I'm going to do this one with my feet aimed towards the front corner of the mat, and feel free to stagger your legs for a little bit more control, okay? But it's important to have this L shape here, this 90-degree bend. Then you're lifting up your waist away from the mat in a strong position. Okay, almost like you have a rainbow arc here. Top leg lifts to hip height and kick this leg forward. And then reach back. Good. So easy kick motion, right? But it's all that setup that makes this challenging. Lifting up through the waist and staying as stable as you can in your upper body. So that's a great way to work your core, again, without having to bend or flex too much. And reach back. Nice. Nice. And kick front and reach back. You have 3 more of these. Reach. And 2. And last one. Now, as you finish that one, lower your foot. I'm lowering my foot in front of the other one. Then, with control, lift up from your waist and come up into that side plank position here. Hold. Feel free to drop your knee down if you need to. Otherwise, maintain this lift. Again, envision that rainbow arc underneath your waist for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower yourself down with control. I'm going to swing my legs around and just go to the other side. So elbow under the shoulder, waist lifted away from the mat, neck is long. Stagger the feet, and lift up through the waist, lift your top leg up. And let's go to those front kicks. Reach out and kick back. So abdominals engaged for control here. Back. Pressing firmly into this base arm on the mat. 4 more kicks. You can try to increase the range of your kick to challenge yourself. And 2, and 1. All right, now go ahead and stagger your legs. Top leg forward, bottom leg back. Press into your forearm and lift your hips up. Shoulders are stacked, high hips from the mat, abdominals in. 4 more breaths. 3, can you lift your hips 2 inches higher? 2, and 1. Slowly lower yourself all the way down. Great job. Let's turn onto our back now. All right, so arms are long by your side. Plant your feet, and then slowly articulate yourself up into a bridge, rolling up. So in the bridge, you want the weight even through both feet, knees forward, push through your legs, and then slowly roll all the way down. Just take your time, kind of find a stretch in this for a moment. Do one more bridge slow. Curl the tailbone up and lift, pressing through your feet. And then slowly roll yourself back down. Now we're going back to that bridge and maintain it. So lift up, take a peek at your hips. You want to make sure they're squared in space, powering up through those glutes and legs. And then I'm going to pick up the toes on my right foot and just slide my right heel out and then glide it back in, right? So it stays connected to the floor. But here I'm challenging to keep those hips squared and slide it out. Bring it right back under. 1 more, slide it out. Bring it right back under, press into the foot, lift those hips again. Other side, slide the heel out, and then glide it back in. Reach, pull it back under. You have 2 more, reach out, and in. Last one, slide it forward. Bring it in, square off those hips, and then slowly roll all the way down through your spine. Yay, okay, cross one ankle over the other thigh and take a stretch to the hips. So ankle over thigh, that might be enough, or pull the bottom leg in to increase the stretch. Use your breath. If you need a little bit more, gently push that outside thigh away from you. And release. All right, other side, ankle over thigh, pull it in, deep breaths. Gently push the thigh away if you need a little more. And release that side. All right, from here, just rock yourself up to a seated position. Let's open through the front of our hips. So take one leg forward, one leg back. So I have my knee over my ankle here, chest lifted, and then draw the hips forward. You can hold on to the floor if you need to, or bring your hands up onto your thigh and continue opening through the front of your hip. Nice deep breath here. Add a little extra, reach the arm up to the ceiling and think of lifting up and out of your hips. Find that stretch. And then lower the hand down. Now, before we go to the other side, you're going to bring both hands down to the mat and take this leg back to join the other leg. So I'm not balancing right on the center of my knee, my patella there. I'm actually rocking forward more to the base of my thigh. Hands under the shoulders, abdominals in and hold. 3, so a modified plank. 2, then slowly bend those elbows, lower down halfway, hold for 4. 3, I snuck this one in, huh? 2, 1, push it up, hold it there for 4. Use the breath. 3, 2, then lower halfway down, stay there. Remember, shoulder blades on your back. 3, 2, press it up. You got one more, hold it there. Closing the ribs to the front, you got this. 2, lower halfway down, stay there for 4. 3, 2, and press it up. Good. All right, bring the opposite leg forward in between the hands, and then hips forward and lift up through your chest. Square off those hips. If you want to add that extra stretch, reach up. And think of, again, lifting up and out of your hips to find the stretch here. Deep breath. Planks are a great way to challenge your core, and so many other muscles too, but definitely love to use those if we're avoiding a lot of flexion. And bring that hand down. All right, so now your second version, you're coming down onto your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. And again, I'm going to go back to that modified position because I want you to think more about form today. So press into your palms, your forearms, but then there's also this energy of my forearm bones pulling in towards each other, right? So I'm locked under the shoulder. Abdominals in here, hold. 3, so a lower plank position. 2, and then pike that, send the hips back for a moment. Take a breath. And then we're coming back into that position for a forearm plank push-up. So you're gonna melt your chest down between your arms and then press back up. So what I'm feeling in the back is that it's kind of like my shoulders roll in towards each other, and then I push away, kind of puffing up between the blades. And again, melt down. Press through those forearms and lift, good. And melt. So take the range that's okay for your shoulders today. Go for one more. And press up. Sit it on back into that child's pose position. Take the stretch. Press into your palms, curl your toes under, go back into downward dog, curl the feet under, walk in place again. Get some more movement between those legs, or through those legs. And hips stay high. Then from here, walk your feet a little closer together. Now, be sure to keep your shoulders and hips squared to the mat. Left leg kicks up. My hips are turned to face the mat, lower the foot down. And again, lift. So challenging your core here by staying squared to the mat and not shifting to one side. Let's add on. So this leg lifts up, it goes to the outside of the mat. It lifts up, it goes behind. You just have 4 sets of these. You can do it. Around to the side, up and lower. 2 more. Up and around, up and back. Last one. And lower the foot. Other side, let's just do it. So opposite leg reaches up. 4 kicks straight up, keeping your hips square to the mat. And then go into that half circle. So bring it up and around, up and back. That's 1. 3 more. Nice long leg here. I know you're starting to feel those arms. You can do this. 2 more. And around. Last one. And bring it down. Yay! As you come down this time, lower all the way down onto your abdominals, working a little extension. Separate the hands a bit wider than the shoulders. Long neck, and then separate your legs too. Give your low back some space. Drag the chest forward and extend and lift up, opening. And then lengthen and lower back down. We just have 4 of these. Drag the chest forward, open up, feeling those shoulder blades come together on your back, and lengthen and lower. 2 more. Extend, opening through your chest. Do what you can. Don't worry about going high on this. Sometimes people use more arms than they do actually their back muscles. So let's lift up and hold this one up. Then seeing if you can keep your feet glued to the mat, float your hands off the mat. Hold it there for 4. Chest open. 3. You're feeling your back work. That's okay. 2. And 1. Nice. Child's pose for the final time today. So sit back towards those heels. Feel that stretch. And then walk your hands over to one side of the mat, feeling that nice opening through the waist. the ribs, the shoulders. Walk over to the other side of the mat, feel the stretch there. Feel free to stay in this position longer too if you need to. And then lift up to hands and knees. Left arm goes up, open through the chest. So I'm keeping my hand under the shoulder as I do this. It's called thread the needle. So send the arm under, roll to the side of your shoulder, and gently rest your head down. Just a nice stretch for the shoulders and the upper back. Use the breath. And lift up. Okay, opposite arm. Okay, so opposite arm goes up. I open up first, find that stretch. And then thread the arm through, roll to the side of your shoulder and your head, and take the rotation through your back. Use the breath. And release. Hands down, feet under, and we'll end on our feet. Walk your hands back to your feet, bend your knees, shake it out there for a moment, and then with soft knees, slowly roll yourself up. So I hope you enjoyed that, and let me know if there's anything else that you need to see, and I will see you on the mat next time.